Looks like UFC 317 might have just been leaked, and if this turns out to be true, we could be looking at one of the biggest fight cards of the year. Rasul Khamzatov, a close friend of Khamzat Chimaev, recently went live on TikTok and casually dropped some massive news. According to him, UFC 317 is going to be absolutely stacked, featuring Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev on the same night as Khamzat Chimaev versus Dricus du Plessis. And it's all set to go down in June during International Fight Week in Las Vegas. Now, before anyone gets too excited, Rasul did say that it's not official yet, but claimed that an announcement is coming soon. And here's the thing. Everything he's saying actually lines up with what we've been hearing from the fighters themselves. Islam Makhachev has been hinting at fighting around International Fight Week for a while now. He's been calling for a fight in June, and his coach, Javier Mendez, even confirmed that Islam is ready to go. On top of that, Ilia Topuria recently tweeted that a huge announcement is coming soon. So if you connect the dots, there's a real possibility that we're getting a massive champion versus champion showdown between Makhachev and Topuria. And then there's Khamzat versus DDP. We already know that Khamzat was originally set to fight at UFC 294, but his staph infection forced him to pull out. Since then, he's been waiting for his shot. And with Sean Strickland losing the belt to Dricus, this matchup actually makes perfect sense. Khamzat is undefeated. He's been one of the most talked about fighters in the division, and a fight against du Plessis would be a huge test for both guys. Now, one of the biggest obstacles for Khamzat has always been his visa issues, but that might not be a problem anymore. With the UFC's new president, Gary Cook, running things, there's a good chance those problems get sorted out. The 317 is set to take place in Las Vegas, and if the UFC wants Khamzat fighting there, they're going to make sure he gets in. So if this card actually happens, we're looking at Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria, champion versus champion Khamzat Chimaev versus Dricus du Plessis, possibly for the middleweight title. That alone would make UFC 317 one of the biggest cards of the year. But don't be surprised if they add even more big fights to it. Now here's what Rasul Khamzatov actually said during his live stream with subtitles.
Topuria, Makhachev, l'équipe. Il y a Makhachev, Topuria vont combattre le même soirée que Khamzat Chimaev. C'est comme ça, en juin. Soyez prêts. Les deux combats auront lieu le même soir pour les ceintures. Ça va être la plus grosse soirée de l'année du UFC. Khamzat contre le champion, frère. Plessis là, je sais pas comment on s'appelle lui. Comme j'aime pas son blaze en plus. Bon allez, comment ça va. Ça n'a pas été annoncé, mais ça a été dit par moi. Mais bientôt ça va sortir, t'inquiète. Plessis, ouais, un truc comme ça. Bon allez, comment ça va. Bon, Chimaev et Topuria, les deux, je pense qu'ils vont gagner. En tout cas, je vois Topuria 60% gagner contre Islam. Non, j'ai lâché un sacré info, frérot. Franchement, j'ai lâché une sacré info. Soyez prêts.
Again, nothing is official yet, but all the signs are pointing towards this actually happening. Islam wants to fight in June. Ilia is teasing a big announcement. Khamzat has been waiting for his chance at the title. And UFC 317 is the perfect event to make it all happen. If the UFC announces this card soon, it's going to be an absolute must-watch event. Imagine a night where Islam Makhachev defends his lightweight belt against Ilia Topuria, and Khamzat finally gets his shot at UFC Gold against Dricus du Plessis. That's a blockbuster card. So now the question is, who do you have winning? If Makhachev and Topuria really fight, does Islam dominate another featherweight like he did against Volk? Or does Ilia shock the world again? And what about Khamzat versus DDP? Does Khamzat steamroll him? Or does du Plessis prove that he's the real deal? Drop your predictions in the comments, make sure to like the video, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the official fight announcements when they drop.